Hello again, welcome back to this second session now. And we're going to be talking about LTI tools, which are from third-party vendors. And as you may understand, I am qualified to train you only on the use of LTI resources. So I'm going to show you where they are found in Learn Ultra and how I'll show you an example of how to create one, but I do not have credentials to specific services. So let me do a little parallel between where they are, in Learn Original and where you can find them in Learn Ultra. Basically, they should work in the exact same way. The LTI integration is performed by your IT department, by your system admin, and it works both with Learn Ultra and Learn Original. So that should not be a problem. So normally in Learn Original, you could go to the course tools and you could find, the content market tools right here. In this case, you may recognize some of those. And there's this link here, which allows you to see some additional ones that are available. Also, from within a content area, provided the edit mode is on, you can go to partner content, and from here you find the content market. That was a specific question that I got from at least one of the users at your institution. And then you, as I mentioned, I do not have the credentials personally, but basically what you do is you click there, and if it has been configured and you have an active access, then it should appear in your course. I will show you some examples in Ultra with content to which I do have access to. In Ultra, also there are two ways in which you can access this content. One of them is in the details and actions menu, where it says books and tools. If you click here, you will find the different tools that have been contracted, acquired, etc., and set up by your institution. And you can click here to see a complete list. All right, these are the ones that have been configured in this specific instance. Now I'll show you a little example with the H5P, which is a pretty cool tool, so you can see how a column is generated in the gradebook. Another way, if you want to place it in a specific place in your course, then what you may want to do, let me do it here. Click on plus, and if you scroll down, you will find that the content market option is right here. Again, it'll show you whatever is available. This is from my demo instance. This is from a university in Miami and Puerto Rico, for example. And if you click on add content and then go to content market, all right, they do have, some tools available here. So I can go ahead and click on one of the items. Of course, it's going to ask me to, just the first time, log in to my content. Another thing I can do from here is, for example, I can go to, which one is it? I think it's this one here. No, let me refresh this. For example, here, if you were using that instance, but then again, you have to have an active user and a license, as you can imagine. Okay, let me show you with this one here, with one that I actually have access to. H5P, as I said, this has also been integrated. That is something that your IT department does for you. And now here, H5P is a tool that allows you to create dynamic, interactive content, etc. I like it a lot personally, so I'm going to click on Add Content. As you can see, you have different options. I'm just going to really quickly create a one question multiple choice quiz here, okay, as an example. So here I'm going to type in my question, and I want to provide the alternatives. Okay, this is a very standard tool, as you can see. Okay, let's add one more option. This one here. Okay, indicate which one the correct one is. I'm going to save an insert title. Okay. All right, so now, as you can see, inside this module, I can find this tool. And if I go to the gradebook, okay, let's go to the gradable item view. I also find, okay, that tool as well. In this case, nothing has been submitted yet. So it should work in the exact same way in your courses. If it's graded, then it will automatically appear in the gradebook. Okay, now the grades, the parameters, etc., depends on the actual settings within that app. Okay, which it being a third party tool, I cannot, I do not have access or the expertise necessarily to train you on that one. I just wanted to show you where you can find it. Okay, so the procedure is the exact same. Okay, and what you want to do, remember, is just go to the place in your course where you want the new LTI item to appear. Click on plus, click on content market. All right, and in this case, for example, let's say we're using Microsoft Teams meeting. So just click this icon here, can make it available to students. And now, of course, students will need a valid username, a valid account. Okay, sorry about my browser being in Spanish, but I am located in Bogota, Colombia, and the world is in Spanish mainly here, including my browser. All right, so pretty much that's where you find LTI tools. Remember, you can do it through the books and tools menu, but you have a lot more control because you can put it right in the correct container. Could be a learning module, could be a folder, etc. You do it just by clicking on plus and then clicking on okay, there's a question there. Fausto, did you just create something in the LTI? It was a little fast to follow. You did not just link to something already in there? No, in this case, I had not. I used H5P and I had not previously created an item. So I very quickly just created a one question quiz. If you want me to go more slowly, sorry about that if it was too fast. Again, okay, you click on plus, you go to the contents market. Here you will find, what you see here will vary depending on what your institution has made available. Okay, you have a progress tool. For example, this one allows you to use like batches if you want to like gamify, etc. The one I demoed was H5P, which again is a third-party tool that allows you to create interactions, multimedia content, etc. If it is something that you have previously created, like this one here, all you need to do is click here and then click on insert. But in this particular tool, all right? Or if you want to create something new, okay, just click on add content. In this case, I chose multiple choice, which is graded. No, it behaves as a quiz, as a test. That's why a column was automatically created in the gradebook. If it was just like an accordion, which basically allows you to fit more content in a inside in a smaller space, which you can then access in an interactive fashion, then since this is not graded, it will not generate a column, or it will not automatically create a column in the gradebook. But that actually depends on the LTI tool that you're using. Now, this one, remember, I just used this one as an example, and I created a one question quiz. But as I mentioned, okay, you can also use simply, if in this LTI tool you have already created something, okay, you can just select it and insert it. As I mentioned, there are two stages here. First, your IT department has to integrate, okay, the tool, which, if it is available in original, it means that it's also available in Ultra. You access through the, okay, from within your course through the content store. Just click on plus and then on content market. And then just choose the tool that you want to use. How each one behaves depends on the actual tool. I demoed with Teams, for example, because here you don't really have a lot more to do. Okay, it's just like the user has to log in, and that's it. And with H5P, which is a tool in which you would actually create activities. So I told you I've been teaching for a little over 30 years. I have used content from pretty much all of these providers. Okay, somewhat like MyLab, Pearson MyLab, for example. In the past, they have all of them actually have like a lot of interactive content specific to certain book series, etc. All of those can, of course, be used. However, the settings and the options and the content would vary greatly depending on which one it is. Does that help? As I mentioned before, I do not have access to other to LTI content from third parties. I explained that beforehand, so I cannot really train you on other tools, only on Anthology tools. But it would behave in the exact same way as it did in Learn Original. So if you were already using those, the interface will be the same. The only thing that changes is how you access, basically. It does differ by publisher, actually. So as I told you, this wouldn't take a lot of time because, as I mentioned before, I can't really, because I don't have the access, of course, I can't really show you how the different third-party content works. The Respondus team should be able to help you with that. Thank you, Brian. However, as I said, I mean, we do have plenty of time for questions, not just about LTI, but about anything that you may have questions about. Could be the gradebook. It could be the gradebook, or could be any other topic that you would like to try out, or that you have been trying to implement in your class, etc. So you want me to, if you want me to show you how to copy content from Learn Original, how to create content, how to share files, etc., I'll be happy to help you with that. So I'm keeping an eye on the chat, okay, waiting for questions. Remember, it could be anything, Ultra. Oh yes, I can certainly show you how to set groups. All right, so, okay. So as I mentioned before, okay, you can always find the most frequently used tools up here. It's it's usually one of the these 8 links. So if you click on groups, remember in Learn Original, okay, you find that over here. I lost that. Users and groups here, groups and users. Remember, in Learn Ultra, the users appear in the roster within the details and actions. You have 2 views actually. And remember, from here, you can also set the accommodations that I mentioned in the previous session. And then the groups tool is separated. It's right up here, so you can access it quickly. Okay, I'll address that. The other tools appear here, basically. Okay, so here are details and actions, and you have the most often accessed tools. And then I'm going to show you what the different options are for this as well, okay? So if you go to the groups page, okay, remember in Learn Ultra, every time you want to create something, you want to look for the plus sign, which is usually found within or inside the circle. And there are three methods, okay? So let's call this sample custom group set, okay? Let me make it visible. There are three methods, as I mentioned: custom, randomly assigned, and self-enrollment. If it's custom, then you decide how many groups there will be and who will be in each group. So there are two ways, okay? In this method, there are two ways to create a group. As always, click on the plus sign, which turns purple, indicating that it is active. Okay, the default name begins with new group and then has a number, so you can just click on the pencil and edit this. To keep it simple, I'm just going to call it group 1, okay? Now, in Learn Ultra, there is always a space for a description. Normally for groups, it may not be necessary unless you want to give students different options for an assignment, etc. We can discuss that afterwards. So now, okay, once you have created one or more groups, all you need to do is look at your students. All students who have not yet been assigned will appear here. And just click on the three dots. And as you can see, there are two options. You can send them to one of the groups that have already been created, or you can create a new group beginning with this student. In this case, I'm going to create a new group, so we have two. Remember, the first one I created here manually. The second one I created by clicking on the ellipsis to the right of a student. So let's edit the name so it makes sense. I'm going to call this group 2. And now what I can do is I proceed to, okay, assign students to the different groups. All students who have not yet been assigned will appear right here at the top of a page. Here I have 5, here I have only 2. Okay, so let's send everybody else to group 2. Once you're ready, okay, remember all items have options. So you have options for students, just click on the ellipsis, and then you can unassign the student, or you can change the student by sending them to another one of the groups that are available. You can also, okay, edit the group. And if you look always, there are three dots that give you more options. If group 1 here, click on the three dots. You could send a message to the group, unassign all members at once, delete the group, or enter the group space. It's not available yet because I haven't saved this yet. So let me save this. And now, okay, you have the sample custom group set, which I just created. It has two groups. If you click here, you can see group 1 and group 2. If you click here, you can see the members of each group. And if you click on the name of a group, you enter the group space. Here, once the group has been assigned to assignments, tests, discussions, etc., all of those will appear here. So you will have a central page from which you can access and you can monitor anything and everything related to this particular group. So that is the first example. That is a sample group set. Now remember, a group set implies that you're going to be creating several groups and that all students will belong to, each student will belong to one of the groups. So you will have like nobody left out. However, as in this example up here, you don't need to include everybody. let's see, here I created a remedial math group. Let's say these are people who actually need maybe some reinforcement material, some additional practice, etc. So if I want to make specific content available to them only, okay, I just create the same process, new group set, custom, just like this one, but I create just one, and I do not, okay, and as you can see here, I do not enroll everybody in that group, only those who need it. So group set usually implies 2 or more groups and everybody is in one group, but also, okay, you can make just one group and enroll whoever needs to be there. The other method, okay, would be create a new group set. And let's say sample random group set, okay? So now if you choose randomly assign, you just need to decide how many groups you want, and then, okay, the corresponding, and then the students will automatically be sent. Let's say 3. So I have between 3 and 4 students per group. Again, okay, you can edit the information or the name actually and the description for each group. I'm just going to leave it with a group and the number to save time. And if you say, okay, actually, I don't want Sirius and Nina to be working together, so just go to the ellipsis next to that student and you can send them to a different group. Just don't forget to save. Okay, again, okay, just click here, you see the different groups, and you can see the members of each group here. The third one, which happens to be my favorite, actually, is self-enroll, because, okay, it gives the user the power of choice here. So let's call this sample self-enroll group set. This one has to be visible so that students can pick one. And here I choose self-enrollment. You provide a description here. Let me provide something really generic. Okay, some dummy text here. Now you have 2 dates, okay, to provide students. One is the enrollment start date, let's say today at this time, and the enrollment end date, okay, until when can they? Let's give them a week. Okay, let's give them a week. This is until 11:59 p.m., until the end of the day. What's the maximum number of members per group? Just remember that this matches the number of groups there are. Okay. And you have another feature here. You can also hide enrolled members so that students can choose a group based on maybe the topic or the task or the artifact that they are to be working on, etc. So now what I will do is I would maybe for an assignment in which they have to demonstrate that they have developed the ability to do something related to a specific topic, maybe I could design, okay, 3 different activities. Maybe one would have students write an article or a paper. In another one, they have to prepare a detailed infographics and then do a presentation. And in another one, they have to do a video blog, okay, a vlog on that topic to share their findings. So now, even though it's the same topic and it's a similar task, there are 3 different ways in which they can present their findings. So this one could be a paper. Okay, of course, you would make it a lot more specific. Here, you would give them the instructions or the descriptions of what they are to do. This one would be the The infographics, again, with a detailed description. I'm just going to use the same dummy text. And here, this could be the blog or video blog, okay? It's so popular now. You could even have them do like a YouTube short video or a TikTok, whatever, okay? You can get as creative as you want, and then click on save. Okay, no people have been enrolled yet, as you can see. Okay, this is very simplified for the sake of time, but I'm sure you get the idea. Same topic, more or less same activity, three different artifacts. So students, personally, I would probably go for the infographics because I'm highly visual, or maybe for the vlog if I have time. So now, okay, all you need to do is go ahead and create, okay, an assignment. Okay, let's just give it something. All right, here provide general instructions, something like, okay, pick a group and follow the instructions provided. I save this, and now you go to this. Okay, let's make this one visible. And then remember, in Learn Ultra, the interface for tests is just about the same. You have everything just one click away. Oh, I'll address that in a moment, Gus. Okay, so you have content, submissions, student activity, question analysis in case it is an assignment, in case it is a test. And now you just go here. Okay, set up the due date. And okay, you go over all the other settings. I would normally use a rubric, etc. And then where it says assign to groups, just click here, go to group students, and reuse one of the groups. Group set, sample, self-enroll group set, this one here. Click save, save again. And now let me go in as a student. Okay, let me go to the student preview. Okay, let me refresh browser. Okay. So, okay, here, the first time I go, it prompts me to join a group to participate. I have the 3 groups, each one with detailed instructions. Said, oh, okay, this one looks like fun. I like creating videos, so I joined that group. So as you can see, you can combine the assignments tool with the self-enrolled group method to give students a choice. As I told you, I've been teaching for over 30 years, from high school to postgraduate courses, and normally people get a lot more intrinsically motivated when they get to choose what they want to work on. So at least in my experience, it certainly works. Oh yeah, by the way, whenever you create a self-enroll group set, students get an announcement. This is generated automatically, prompting them to join one of the groups. Okay, let me exit the student preview. Yeah, I did that already. Just let me refresh, just in case. And there is another question here. When generating AI questions from content within a module, how do we join or combine those few generated questions into a larger block or pool? Currently, you're limited to 10 questions per item, per pool. However, okay, you don't do that from the, let's see, you don't do that from the question banks because you can't really merge the question banks. Okay, let me change the names here. Let's say this is pool 2. Okay, and let's say this is pool 3. Okay, these were not generated automatically, but the behavior is the same. So when you generate a question pool, I'll show you in a moment, you have up to 10, okay? However, if you want to use more than one, all you need to do is click here, click on create. Let's create a test here. Sorry. Okay, and now when you click on add question pool, you're not limited to choosing only one source. So if you have generated, okay, 3 different groups of 10 questions, so basically you can do this, okay? You can combine, select all, and add them. Now you have 2 pools of with 26 questions each for a total of 52. Let's say I want you to show 20 at random. So it is within the exam that you can not merge really, but combine the questions from different pools. Does that help, Gus? Yeah, I know it's not what you were expecting, but right now we do have that limit of 10 questions. I don't know if that will be increased. Okay, if we copy over a test zip file from Learn into Ultra course, we can't edit it once it's in Ultra unless we insert questions into a bank individually, correct? Normally, anything that you copy from Learn Original into Ultra, once it's in Ultra, can be edited. I mean, if it's a zip file, of course, you cannot edit a zip file, the contents of a zip file. But if it is a test, once it's in Ultra, you should be able to go to click on the 3 dots and then click on edit. So I'm not sure, Alice, if I understood your question completely, but remember, however, okay, let me make this visible to students. You don't need to export anything. You don't need to export anything into a zip file and then import it onto the Ultra course. I mean, you could do that, but it's easier to just click on plus, then on copy content, then choose your course, like this is an original course, for example, and just, okay, for example, August modules. Oh, my connection is not helping. Again, it's been funny since yesterday. Okay, this one here. Let's say content. I think it's here. Yeah, there's a test, for example, here. So you can choose one or more items or even everything at once. My recommendation, however, is copy things by like in chunks from your original course. Let's say, okay, I want to copy this test, then I want to copy this question bank, and I want to copy this rubric. Okay, this is like your shopping cart, sort of. Start copy. If there are any exceptions, it'll tell you, as you can see here. And you can see, in this case, it's just progress tracking, which is, it doesn't affect anything. And as you can see, where did I put that? No, it was here. As you can see, you have a test here. If any question is not compatible, basically the only one that's actually not compatible right now, for the time being, is arrange, put the elements in the correct order. That is the only one that needs, that's still pending being available in Ultra. That should be available pretty soon, though. All the others are already there. The only thing, actually, that may be an issue is in Ultra, when you create automated feedback for a question, okay, you just click, let me show you slowly here. So I click on the test that I just copied, okay, it's native Ultra, as you can see now, and everything is editable, absolutely. You can align with a goal, you can click on edit, And here you can change anything really, okay? You can allow partial and negative credit. You may want to explore this option. It's sometimes very, you can add options. You could remove options. The thing is, when it comes to automated feedback, you only have two fields. Feedback to show in case the answer is correct. Feedback to show in case the answer is not correct. That includes partial credit answers. With Learn Original, okay, let's go to, where are you? Tests, surveys and pools. Okay, here, let's go to tests. The same one, scavenger hunt. Okay, edit. So as you can see here, okay, let's use this one here. As you can see, okay, in Learn Original, not only do you have those two fields, let me scroll all the way down. Well, there are many options there. Feedback for correct response and feedback for incorrect response. These, if you're using this, they will be copied, no problem, okay, because they are compatible. That's available in Learn Ultra also. What is not available is specific response feedback, right? If you have specific feedback for each one of these responses, that will not copy. But if you have feedback for correct and incorrect answer, that will be copied. That is the only difference right now. Okay, and I don't think they're planning to implement response-specific feedback, probably because this one here is like a lot more meaningful, probably. Okay, just not to overwhelm maybe the student with information, but that's the only thing. Always, however, remember, my recommendation is copy things directly from original. You don't have to export and import. I mean, you do have the ability to import, but it's much easier and you have a lot more control and it's instant. It happens instantly. Just copy directly from your original course. And if anything didn't make it through or any settings are not compatible, just click on copy details. Okay, and it will give you a detail of everything and anything that you may want to take a look at. If it says progress tracking, then you don't need to worry about it really, because it's just works differently in Ultra, but it doesn't affect anything. Another recommendation, okay, the recommended approach is copy things directly from original. You don't need to export, import. Try not to copy everything at once, okay? Try to copy in chunks, which are more manageable. They offer you more control. Once you copy, if you copy a content area, okay, for example, okay, I click on copy content, and then I go to Egypt original, and I go to August modules. My browser, I hate my browser sometimes. Okay, let's say, okay, September modules. Now, I think it's that copy. Sorry about that. Let me use a different one. So if I copy something, okay, it is going to come as a, it is going to be copied as a folder. However, even though you could use folders here, okay, on the course content page, it is recommended to use learning modules. Why? Because for one thing, learning modules allow you to use an image, okay, as a thumbnail to illustrate what the contents of the course. Believe me, it does have an impact, the same as this banner image here. I mean, like something that is visually appealing to the user. I'm not even just talking about students, I'm talking about the user in general. Helps the student first get interested so that they are more willing to interact with the object. They use that, the principles of emotional design, they use them a lot in marketing. Actually, that was a topic of the focus of my doctoral thesis study, okay, emotional design applied to instructional design. So actually that is the first level, the visceral level. If they like it, they become interested and they are more willing to interact with it, and then if they find it useful and intuitive and user-friendly, they'll probably be more active, okay? So it does matter. But also another feature is a module allows you to, and this is not for every module, like this one here, in which basically you have a bunch of resources. The idea would be for students to access things in any order as they need them. But if they were actual content, you may want to enable the forced sequence mode. Why? Because if you do that, now students don't get to like jump around inside the module, but they have to navigate in a specific order. And why would that be a good idea? I mean, that's only the first time. Afterwards, then they can access things in any order. You see, you have a little progress bar here, and you have a continue button. What does that mean? That now, okay, the first time they access things, they have to access in order. Here I have enabled progress tracking, so the student can see what they have done so far, and they get persistent navigation. That means the next time they log in, they just need to click on continue, and they will be taken to the next element, which wouldn't happen if you had not enabled the forced sequence. I'll answer your question in a moment, Kristen. Just let me finish here. I mentioned that it's a good idea to turn on the progress tracking feature, because now you as an instructor can click on the three dots here, click on student progress, and you can see who has started this module, for example. You can see here all of the content. You see that this one and this one have been started, but not yet finished. You have the status here, and you can click here and see specifically what they have seen so far. From the very same page, because everything is just one click away, you can check the grades for that student. You have a personal space for notes. This is for your eyes only. So next time you're meeting with the student, if you want to remember some feedback or some resources you want to share with them, okay, you can use this space. They have no access to this. You have the student activity report also, okay, by day. Okay, you can go as a list, you can go as a graphic, both of which you can download as well. Oh, and you can set accommodations, view the current grade, etc. Okay, there's a question from Kristen about copy. Is there a way to prevent extra copies of the associated rubrics from being created? When I copy assignments that use the same rubric over from the old one to the new, I get another copy of the rubric. I have to make quite a few changes. Okay. That means, Kristen, if you're using the same rubric for several, for more than one item, that is a very good question. And I see, I hadn't had that specific case happen, but mainly because I hadn't been using that. I'm going to bring that up because it shouldn't happen. Okay. It's a good opportunity for improvement over there. Okay, just in case though, I mean, I'm going to bring it up, but it might be a good idea. Okay, Brian, if you could create a ticket in behind the Blackboard, because that shouldn't be happening. I mean, that shouldn't be making, I mean, I see the logic why that might be happening, but yeah, it's not a desired behavior. So we'll take care of that, Kristen. Thanks for letting us know, because I was not aware of that. Oh yeah, sure, Gus. I can show you where the content collection is. So now if you want to access the content collection, all you need to do is, let's say we want to put something here, okay? Click on plus. Now you can, if you click on create, then you have, okay, this is a course content, assessment, and participation and engagement. Those are the three categories of ultra native items. Also, from here, you could copy content. You could upload from your device, upload from cloud storage services. Currently, 4 of them are supported: Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, and Box. This is very convenient because now, Okay, you only start the session once and that's it. And the other option that you find here, the very last option, is content collection. So that's where you find it. Here you click on browse content collection, and now it's the same screen that you would arrive at in Learn Original. Does that help, Gus? Alrighty. Everything is there, and I would say everything is easier to find. But of course, if you've been using Learn Original for a long time, then it just needs a little adjusting and getting used to where things are. But pretty much everything's there, and in most cases, the user interface is more intuitive and things are easier to find, right? Because here, as you can see, you have a lot more. You have to dig a lot more, okay, in order to find things. So that's one of the main features of Ultra. We still have a little over 10 minutes. Do we have any other questions? I have a question about Blackboard roles. Would that be for you or someone else that sets your institution settings? Actually, it's your admin. Okay, I can tell you about the roles, but the audience for that would be probably someone who has an admin role, because I mean, provided that you have the ability to enroll users in your course, many institutions disable that, then okay, let me find my friend here. I always use him. He's a project manager in Anthology, and I always use him as a guinea pig for all my examples. So all the roles are there, how are available, all the course roles in this case, provided that you have access to this. Okay, it is the admin who either grants you or not access to this feature. From the admin panel, here, but that's a completely different topic here. Okay, this is where you manage roles. There are institution roles, system roles, and course organization roles. These are the ones that you may be talking about, and as you can see, you can create as many different custom roles with a specific set of privileges over what they can and cannot do in their courses. But I would say that would be a topic for another for another session. Actually, you can have multiple roles. I mean, you can have let me go back there. You have the course builder role, for instance. So if you have someone that should be able to modify content, create, edit, etc., but should not have other privileges associated with instructors, such as grading or contacting students, then that's a role that you want to give them, for example. And as I mentioned, okay, you can create custom roles. Let me show you, for example, the instructor role. As I mentioned, this is more admin, but just for you to get an idea. I mean, like, there are a total of 233 different course privileges that allow you or not to do certain things. Okay, instructors have all of them by default, but you can create multiple custom roles. So you could have instructors who have the ability to create and edit materials, and then you can create another instructor role. Oops, sorry, this is in Spanish. Okay, that do not have the ability, just select those privileges and restrict them. So the sky is the limit here, okay? But if you want, I can work with Brian and Kevin and whoever. Okay, we can arrange a session on that if you want. Anybody can have any role. It's a little bit like Barbie. You can be whatever you want to be. That was a great movie, by the way. Anyways, but here the admin has to grant you that role. And if you want something that's more custom, specific, then you can do that. We have a new Ultra glossary tool. Should probably be able to find that in the help page. Let me just a second. Let me share that with you. Okay, wrong language. Sorry. As I said, I'm located in Colombia. I'm not from here. I'm from Lima, Peru. but Colombia is a fun country to live in. So now, as you can see, this is the one you want, instructor, ultra experience. Okay, let me share this with you. And this is something that you probably want to bookmark. You can find everything ultra there. Okay, as you can see, by topics. So if you have a question about content, for instance, you have detailed step-by-step walkthroughs with screenshots, with videos, etc. So you may want to bookmark that page. And as you can see, it works as a little, it's basically an index here. From here you can find whatever you need. All right, let me see. There's quite a few things in the chat. Let me see. Oh, okay, Jennifer. If you're the builder and not the instructor, then you want to be enrolled in that course as a course builder. That is one of the standard roles. So basically, if you're enrolled in that course, you will appear in the roster. Okay, let's say this one. Okay, and all you need to do is make sure that your role in that course is course builder. And now you would have complete access to what you need. I know this started as an LTI session, but okay, we still have 5 minutes of Q&A. So well, just addressing Kristen's question again, it's not enough to have the course builder role, but you have to have that role within the course, and then you have full access to that. You can self-enroll provided that feature has been enabled by the admin. Okay, that's usually restricted, though. Might have to do, Kristen, that may have to do with a set of privileges associated with that role, because they shouldn't have that limitation. Still, okay, one thing that then they may want to revisit is go to, okay, the course builder role, check what the privileges are to make sure that they can do whatever they are expected to do. And then recommendation, okay, but this is more for your admin. Whenever you want to change, personalize, customize a set of privileges associated with a role, try not to use a standard role that comes with a platform, but make a copy first. And then, okay, you can play around with the privileges for that copy. That's a lot safer. Yeah, Kevin, it sounds like Kevin is the right person to address for that.
Whoever Kevin is.
Yeah, Kevin can be the one to address the maybe roles.
Oh, whoever is the admin. But as I mentioned, if you coordinate with Gabi, who's the PM, then we can probably set up a meeting with him and explore that.
Anybody else got any questions, please?
Okay, then. All right. As always, a pleasure. Okay, I hope I managed to answer at least most of your questions and help you with some of your, I'm not going to say struggles, but some of the things that you're still getting used to with a new platform. And I'll be more than happy to help you at any other time. Just let us know, okay?
The same Zoom.
All right, let me turn on my camera. All right. And well, it's been a pleasure. Take care.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time with us.
Thank you as well. It was fun. You sure kept me busy especially during the last hour. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.